Hello everyone. I know it's been a little while, but I'm back from my hike and I'd like to talk about it. I wanted to wait till I had a good filming location, somewhere that was natural, not just in my basement or anything like that. So here I am at Mill Creek State Park, Iowa. It's very nice, it's very peaceful. I like it here, but there's a lot of people, so I might have to pause the video a lot because I'm not gonna film in front of anybody else. Anyways, here we are. I'm back and I'm here to talk about it because that was a interesting trip, to say the least. It was a lot harder than I was expecting, honestly. And I have some advice for people that want to go and do a similar hiking trip in Olympic National Park, because you need to prepare a lot more than I did. You really do. It wasn't hell, but it felt like it at points. So yeah, I have some advice for anybody else that wants to go. And I'd just like to talk about the trip in general because it was a good one overall. Day one, we arrived at the park and we started on our trip, and we had to go an extra 7 miles because a road was washed out along the way. And over this, I'll be including videos, pictures, anything I have. So as I was saying, a road was washed out and we had to go an extra like 7 or so miles before we got to what would have been our normal trailhead, which was honestly, it was not great for the physical part of it because I was more tired, but that was some of the most beautiful scenery of the whole trip, walking on this abandoned, washed out road next to a very, very big river. It was very nice, very, very nice. But by the end of that day, I was exhausted. It took one day for me to realize that I had, got in farther than I was planning. All right, I haven't taken a video of myself yet. This is day 3, and I am like, I don't know, a little over halfway up Hayden Pass, a 10 miles straight up side of a mountain. This is a lot. I'm struggling a lot here, but I'm gonna make it. It really is beautiful up here, but the grueling force of this climb really takes your mind out of it sometimes. Just gotta remind myself to breathe and keep going and to keep looking at the scenery. Yeah, anyways, one day in and I was already realizing that was like, a lot more than I bargained for. 17.5 miles in one day. I was tired, I was bruised, I had blisters on my feet, it was bad. Oh, what? Man, I'm gonna come back and get this later, but somebody I've found, this is the second one I've found, somebody is leaving like dog poop bags all over this trail. Unbelievable. That is so disrespectful to everybody else that walks through here. I'll go get them later. But anyways, as I was saying, day 1 was tough. Day 2 for me was a bit of a break, 8 miles, and it was still hard. It's all hard, but it was doable. And I was like, oh, well, if the rest of the trip is like this, I'll be fine. It was not. Long story short, day 3 was 9.4 miles, I believe, maybe a little bit more, straight uphill. And it was a mile gained in elevation over the course of that. So, it wasn't very steep, but you're walking just straight uphill the whole time, which does not give your body much of a break. And most of the first 3 days, while very pretty, is very enclosed. You've got huge, giant trees on either side of you. There's moss everywhere. The air is very dense. It doesn't flow a lot. So it just gives you a little bit of a claustrophobic feeling at times. And, you know, I like that, but when you get up onto some of those passes, like day 3 was the hike to Hayden Pass, and that was incredible view from up there. One of the best over the course of the whole trip. All of the passes were great, and all of those valleys right underneath the passes had some of the most animal life that I've seen, like, well, that I did see on the course of that trip. It was, I believe day 4, we did 2 passes that day, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't remember the names of them, but it was like a short, like 4 or 5 mile hike, but we went up 2 passes. And on our way down from that, I believe is when we saw our first bears. We saw 3 black bears, not 100 yards away. I've never seen a bear before, not in person. So that was very striking. I was so in awe. I didn't even take pictures or anything. No point. I just wanted to embrace the moment, you know, experience it with my own eyes. Yeah, if you guys want to see something like that, you'll have to go out and find a bear yourself. Ooh. Yeah. But the moment I saw those bears, I knew, you know, this is worth it. This is worth the pain. This is worth the agony, all that. And so it kind of set my mindset for the better from that point on. I wouldn't say I had a bad attitude, but I was more resigned to the fact that I was like, all right, this is gonna suck for me. I am not, and granted, I'm not in perfect condition. Far from it, but I'm also not in bad shape either, I wouldn't say. I haven't lifted in a while, but I used to quite a bit, and, you know, I don't know, I'm in decent shape. I eat decently, not bad. I thought it would be all right. You gotta do more than that. You can't do the bare minimum. It's not enough. Well, it is enough, you're just not gonna have as much fun. I proved to myself that it was enough. Also, if you're wondering why I'm switching the camera back and forth, is because I got a little bit of a camera holder, and I'm just not used to holding it, and it just makes my arm tired holding it out. But yeah, let's go on with my trip analysis. Day 5. Let's see, what was day 5? I believe every day after day 3, we did a hike to a pass, if I remember right. So 5 would have also been one of those. Yeah, day 5 was like 3 or 4 miles, but it was a really tough, you know, uphill pass hike, and that was really tough, if I'm remembering the right one. Yeah, because it was such a short distance, so it was like 3 miles, but it was like over a mile gained in elevation, maybe, if I'm remembering right. That might not be the right one. It was a couple thousand feet, and it was just like so steep, like the steepest switchbacks you've ever seen. But the land started to open up after there, and from then on it was incredibly vegetation dense, but not as much trees. You could at least, you know, see where you were headed. You could see the end goal, and that's what always helps me with hiking. I want to see, you know, I want to know at the end of the day that over there is where I'm going to, you know. That's what I'm saying. So on to day 6, our last day in the woods. We had originally planned to do 7, but our day 6 would have been just 2 miles, and then we were gonna go, you know, another like 18 miles the next day. I was like, man, that just seems like too much. I wonder if we can find, like, I don't know, reserve another campsite or something for the next day. But we ended up just doing everything in one day. So we did, well, you know, all in all, we would have done 24.5 miles in that day, but a very nice couple gave us a ride for 6 of those miles. That just went down a road between a lookout where there was a trailhead and another like a tourist destination. Hurricane Ridge, that's what it was. That's the name of it. Yeah. So we got a ride to there, and that was so nice. We wouldn't have made it out that day if it wasn't for them. We would have had to camp somewhere, probably not legally, so they saved us. I appreciate that very, very much. So whoever you are, thank you so much, because we would not have made it out without you. We would have made it out of the woods eventually. We just wouldn't have made it out that day, is what I mean. Yeah, but that was grueling. We stumbled out of those woods. I had bruises all over. I had like 30 some mosquito bites on one arm. I was covered in scrapes and dirt, and I hadn't showered in a week. When we got out and we walked back to the car, and I was like hobbling. I was in rough shape. There was not a lot of water on that end of the trail either, so we were preserving water the whole way. So it was very, very nice to be finally out. It takes some time, some self-reflection, and some looking back to really appreciate everything you went through. And looking over the pictures doesn't hurt either, because those are magnificent. Like I said, you'll be seeing the pictures and videos while I'm talking now. So maybe you won't even see me here. You'll probably see me a little bit. But the videos I thought were really good at the time. Looking back, I recorded them all way too fast. I should have taken my time on way more of that stuff. But yeah, the photos I think are very, very nice. And there's some incredible wildlife encounters along the way. So many deer, saw a lot of marmots. I didn't get any pictures of them though. I saw 2 baby mountain lions, and I'm sure there was a mom nearby, but we didn't see that. And let's see, a couple snakes, couple lizards. Good stuff, good stuff. I stand by the, leave no trace rules, so I didn't mess with any of the wildlife I saw, but it's really cool to see it. And I love snakes especially, so I was very happy to get a video of that one. Yeah, a lot of slugs. I was not expecting the amount of slugs there. I guess it makes sense, with how high the humidity is in those parts, but yeah, there were so many slugs, huge ones. I'll put a picture in. I mean, I'll put all my pictures in if I can. Yeah. Let's see, other cool moments. Day 2, well, several of the days we swam in the river to like wash off as best we could. And it was freezing cold, but so refreshing. I'll not be showing you pictures of that. Maybe one, maybe just one. We'll see. Not much though. Also, there were so many waterfalls and streams along the trails. You'd always be walking over and through streams, which is hard on your ankles, but it's really, really beautiful. And we'd see all this work done by the trail maintenance teams of all these like handmade bridges. And they're not allowed to use power tools out there. That's all, I'll showcase some in the photos and videos, but they don't use power equipment. There's no point in hauling that out then. They're just using hand tools, sledgehammers, axes, saws, that kind of stuff, primitive stuff, and they're making these very expansive at times bridges. I think the biggest we went over was probably had to be like between 16 to 18 feet long. It was very big, and man, I do not envy that job. I would maybe try it just because I'm curious, and I like the I have respect for the profession, but wow, they must be hard workers. So yeah, shout out to all of you that do that kind of work. That is incredible. Unrelated, but I forgot how maze-like this state park is. It's very small, so if you keep walking, eventually you'll get out. But I was not paying attention, and I was just walking around because it's, you know, it's tiny. It goes around one little pond, and I am maybe lost in here. So yeah, I'll update you guys in a bit, but I want to get to one last spot here to show you before I get out, because there is one really beautiful spot here. And you know, Iowa deserves credit where credit is due. This interesting little creature landed on my hand, and I don't know what it is. If anybody knows what this thing is, please let me know. It looks like it has a big stinger, but it doesn't seem to want to do much harm. Its head kind of looks like a fly. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, here it is. I got to it. The last place I wanted to show you guys here. I guess I didn't show you much else. It was mostly just me talking about my hiking trip. But this place here is very pretty. Underrated Iowa location, I will say. Underrated Iowa location. Mill Creek State Park, for anyone curious. I think I said that at the beginning, but yeah. Also, I picked up 2 dog bags and a ton of plastic and garbage on the trail, so that's not nice. I'm happy to do it, but I wish it didn't have to be done in the first place. It's hard for me to believe there's people that like being out in nature, but don't like it enough to take care of it by throwing away their garbage. It's pathetic. Anyways, I don't want to end off the video on a bad note. I love you all, and thank you for anybody that watched this. I hope you enjoyed, and I will have more videos coming a lot sooner.